Hello folks, today is Friday, January 30th, 2026. As usual, my name is Jake Baldino, here to talk about all the video game news that has been going on this week. Pretty stacked week, but like a lot of weeks, let's lead with a weird, crazy looking game. This might be, and I'm not saying this with like any levity here, this might be one of the weirdest games I've seen in a while. This is called Worming from Home, and you play as a worm at his desk working a work from home finance job. But it's a full-size desk with like real stuff and a real computer, but you're just this little physics-based worm. And you essentially need to flop around and use physics and hit the keyboard and get your work done and then level up and buy stuff like to, train and do recreation. And I've already said enough. This is insane, right? This is ridiculous. I like the quirkiness. I love games that have this kind of cool, fun gimmick. It's clearly made by a small team. I've already said enough. This is ridiculous, right? Like, I get that a lot of games have these types of fun gimmicks, quirky gimmicks. I like Octodad and, the weird simulator games, but it's clearly made by a very small team. It's just really out there. The description's even better. Be the worm of Wall Street in this simulation game about working a remote finance job. Throw your spineless body around the keyboard to invest in the stock market and earn obscene amounts of money. Buy upgrades, train skills, and worm your way up to the promotion you've always dreamed of. There's actually a demo that dropped today. I'm curious to check this out, but yeah. With games I play, I don't usually have a limit, but this might be crossing the line. Is this too weird for you? Are you like me? Let me know what you think. Jumping over to another really cool game announcement that's less weird, it's Emberville. This has kind of been re-revealed with a really cool trailer, and this is kind of like a dungeon crawler retro style game mixed with Stardew Valley, and it's got people excited because a lot of the people involved seem like they know their shit. And visually, the voice acting, some of the little bits of gameplay, the gore we've seen, it looks really cool. And we now know that this is coming to early access soon. Now, one of the other big bits of news this week is Grand Theft Auto 6. It's in the news for possibly having its physical edition delayed. Yes, so take this all with a grain of salt. This is a rumor. It comes from a Polish website that is reporting from their inside source that has apparently gotten some things right in the past, like the flight simulator port, a Sonic port to Nintendo Switch, couple of things here and there. They are claiming that Rockstar Games and their parent company, the publisher Take-Two, are delaying the physical release of the game, presumably maybe to avoid leaks. Don't panic again, this is just a rumor, it is not confirmed, and I do think it's pretty far off, and I think only people that would know the real truth about this would be like top level executives, but who knows? Well, it does sound crazy. A lot of games now, like people buy their games digitally more than physically. Physically is still a significant part, but I think if anybody was to do something crazy like this, it would be Rockstar, because they have more money than God, and they can just do that if they want. I mean, we talked about that rumor that they were going to charge $100 for GTA6, and the consensus there was the same thing. Hey, that's crazy, but they'll do whatever they want because they're nuts. The report also suggests that they have conflicting information. They don't know if it's going to be like digital release only, and then the physical version comes in a couple of weeks, or does it come in a couple of months? There's no way to know for sure, and I just think this is interesting. To prevent leaks is what they're saying, right? And what is that, story spoilers, you might think? I think ultimately to a point, it's like, who cares? It's fun to preserve the surprise, but I don't think they would be willing to potentially lose out on some money because of that. I think it's more of a narrative control thing, and having somebody leak the game early and share a part of the game that then goes viral and pisses everybody off, or it shows the game in the worst possible light. I don't know, like, I just feel like Rockstar really would want to control the narrative here. And I see it less about like worrying about individual story spoilers and more about just controlling the entire conversation, because they like to keep a tight grip on things, from the marketing, the release, all that stuff. We've talked about Rockstar in the past. We know how they go, how they roll things out, how they are kind of secretive. So yeah, we don't know if this is really true or not. Me personally, I don't think it sounds like super unrealistic, but it's still kind of unprecedented. So I am just curious to see what actually goes down here. Let me know what you think, though. This is definitely worthy of conversation, especially for my physical game homies out there. I hope we don't get left in the dark for something like this, because that's lame. And also, I don't want to be forced to want to play the game, buy it digitally, and then consider double dipping later. That sucks too. Next up, let's talk about the sponsor of this video, Mint Mobile. If you're like me, there's a good chance you have been absolutely frustrated with the major wireless carriers for years now. From the shopping experience, to the prices, to the quality. everything. If you're like me and you're annoyed, Mint Mobile can really help out with this. I'll be honest with you guys, this one's really straightforward. Mint has made shopping for wireless plans super easy. No stores, no salespeople. The online setup experience is great. Premium wireless without the premium price tag and coverage on America's largest 5G network. That's Mint providing 5G coverage to 98% of Americans and 4G LTE to 99% of Americans, so you're set. But they let you choose the amount of data that's right for you so you don't overpay. 5 gig, 15 gig, 20 gig, or unlimited data a month. And for me, I was concerned switching was hard, but it's not. It's really easy. I brought my own unlocked phone. You can do that or shop phones with Mint. And when you switch, you can keep all your existing contacts and most importantly, your phone number. With eSIM now, it's super easy. You can sign up and activate when you're just chilling at home in minutes. So for a limited time, you can get 50% off a premium wireless plan from Mint. Lock in their lowest price of the year and pay just $15 a month for 3-month, 6-month, and 12-month plans. All you gotta do is click the link in the description down below. Again, that is 50% off an unlimited plan. Pay just $15 a month for a 3-month, 6-month, or 12-month plan. Click that link in the description down below. Join me and my happiness with Mint Mobile, and big thanks to them for sponsoring this video. Now back to it. Switching over to something a little bit more retro, Duke Nukem 3D is celebrating its 30th anniversary, which sounds insane to say out loud as somebody who's been alive for a minute, but they actually put out a really nice little retrospective documentary. If you want to check it out, I'll put the link in a description down below. Some of the original developers, they got G-Man Lives on there, Duke's voice actor, everything. A really good perspective here, even just the process of making games and how they used to make games. If you don't care about Duke Nukem, I still think it's a good watch. It's only like 10 minutes, but I highly recommend it. Also, in case you missed it, Resident Evil 9 Requiem got some hands-on previews. We put out a video breaking down some of the new information and impressions. I got to play about 3 hours of the game, both Grace and Leon's campaign, and I really liked what I saw. Some interesting lore ramifications, and a lot of the theories online are wrong. Some of them might have some things figured out. Now, I won't spoil that, but Leon's gameplay, it plays as good as it looks. Grace's sections were appropriately more survival horror and scary, and I noticed that like the inventory management stuff was super intense, more so than 7 and 8, like just really tight stuff. Some decent backtracking, but the map I played in, the Rhodes Hill Chronic Care Facility, was really good. But the big thing, my big takeaway was the zombies. Really creative new uses of zombie enemy types, all feeling a little distinct and kind of existing in their own little ecosystem of the level, roaming around, having different things to watch out for, different style attacks, and I appreciate the creativity on display. Also, lots of gore. If you want to check out my full impressions, I did it on my channel, youtube.com/JakeBaldino. That's linked down below as well. But in terms of performance, we now know a little bit more. They announced at least how it's going to perform on PlayStation. PS5 Pro is going to be running the thing 4K 60 FPS with ray tracing on, and it's going to have a 120 FPS mode with ray tracing off. Also, sorry if you guys can hear some noise. There's currently some construction going on, but yeah, that sounds really good. Obviously, that's PS5 Pro, but I think that's a pretty good high bar, meaning I think PS5 will also fare well. We've seen a little bit of it running on Switch too, so I just hope that it runs well, and I hope that the PC version is solid. Please God, when that releases. It comes out next month though, so we'll see for sure. Now, in terms of other big things this week, a lot of new game trailers and announcements and stuff like that. A new video for Crimson Desert, a really deep dive on this game that's out fairly soon as well. 15 minutes of gameplay, and man, this game is promising a lot. It is freaking massive. I got to do a preview of this a few years back, and it's pretty overwhelming the amount of systems the game has going on, from RPG stuff to action stuff to open world stuff. There's so much shit crammed in this game. I can confirm that. Hopefully it all comes together, because this new video, it just looks cool as hell. Also, new game announcements. Check out Huntdown Overtime. This is like a 80s action throwback style game. The retro games have been hitting for me lately, especially with like Terminator 2D, but this one in particular is just a classic style run and gun, and it looks great. Also, check out this new Dragon Ball game that was announced. Right now, it's just like a code name. It's Project Age 1000. And not too much really you can take away here, other than a look at a new, I guess, unreleased Akira Toriyama character design. And we know we're going to know more about this at a Dragon Ball event. More will be revealed apparently in April. Along with that, check this out. This is Knight's Path. This game is pretty early in the works from a small team, but to me, it's looking like they're kind of going for a Kingdom Come Deliverance style thing, but in third person. Looks like it's going to have some cool combat. They're focusing on combat and exploration, but then also like actual like realistic RPG elements in a, quote, grounded low fantasy world inspired by the Holy Roman Empire. Also, sticking with that vibe, check out Tattered Banners. This was also newly announced. This is a tactical turn-based RPG that looks like it has some promise. But one in particular for me this week was the War of the Worlds Siberia. This was previously announced, and they didn't really show anything for it, but now we got to look at gameplay, and it's a third-person action-adventure game, and it looks cool as hell. It's the late 1800s, but it's based on H.G. Wells' like War of the Worlds invasion, but it's in Siberia. We kind of just get to see a guy running through the woods and then engaging in some light stealth and third-person shooting, kind of like giving me Last of Us combat vibes. I don't know. This looks cool as hell, man. Now, in terms of new game releases this week, the first is the free-to-play competitive 3v3 shooter Highguard. A lot of people have been talking about this one with just like, what the hell is this game? Why was it announced at the Game Awards as this big thing? I've played quite a bit of it, and I think it's not as bad as people were hoping it to be. To me, it's not quite a Concord 2 level disaster, but it definitely needs more work. I think it should have been released as like an early access thing. However, there are some redeeming elements like the mounts, the actual map design, like there is some creativity here, and I hope they can figure it out. We did a before you buy on that, so you can check that out, linked in the description down below. Also releasing this week is Cairn. This is a mountain climbing game. It's kind of like a lo-fi chill, but very intense and challenging climbing game with a light story. I played through this. I loved it. It took me like 12, 13 hours. I did a video on my channel, but now I think we are going to do a before you buy on it. So check that out soon. Also, in Ubisoft news, you know, just it's been a lot of bad news with Ubisoft and layoffs and stuff like that. It seems like more are going to be coming, but what we did get this week is a little bit more confirmation that Beyond Good and Evil 2 still exists. We had heard from Insider Gaming last week when all the bad news dropped that was still a thing, that it was safe, it wasn't on the chopping block, but now the actual game director has come out and stated that as well. Quote, myself, my team, and our project Beyond Good and Evil 2 are unaffected by the recent changes. We remain committed and focused on delivering a remarkable game for our players to enjoy. So there you have it. We'll see how that goes. I'm curious to see what the hell actually ever comes from this game. It's been in the works for so long, but there's been a lot of like Ubisoft things floating around lately. Hard to verify a lot of stuff, but again, it seems like big changes at Ubisoft. Seems like a lot of pain, a lot of layoffs, project cancellations and stuff like that. But for now, of all things, Beyond Good and Evil 2 has survived. Also, so I have a reason and an excuse to talk about Metal Gear Solid in every single video. Solid Snake is coming to Rainbow Six Siege. He's going to be an operator. And we got a light teaser video here. It's Snake clearly rocking the sneaking suit Metal Gear Solid 2 variant. That's kind of like the look they tend to use for him. But I don't care about Siege. I haven't played Siege since like it launched, and this got me kind of hyped. This was a cool little tease. We're gonna find out more at a Ubisoft Rainbow Six Siege event in February. And last but certainly not least, I usually like to end on some like other media video game things. We did get a new trailer for the Super Mario Brothers Galaxy movie. I know for gamers, like opinions are kind of all over the place on these movies, but this looks fun, and this new trailer reveals Yoshi fully in all his glory. There he is. Can this one finally live up to the beloved 1993 Mario Brothers movie that I weirdly enjoyed? Probably not, but anyway, that's blasphemy to some people, so I'll end the show on that. Let me know what you think about everything this week. From what you're playing, let us know. Pinned comment for our research. Just like if you can reply real quick, if you have a second, let us know what games you're currently playing. It helps us figure out what to mention in videos. But let us know what you think about that worm game. Like I asked at the start, is this too weird for you? Is this past your threshold, or are you interested in actually giving this a try? And Grand Theft Auto 6, the physical edition being delayed, is that like a no-buy situation for you? Were you not concerned either way? Let's talk about that and everything else. All the new game announcements, everything. Hit me up down in the comments. I'm also on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, all those places if you want to yell at me directly. But that's it. That's what I got for you. I'm here every Friday to get you caught up on the news. Clicking a like button helps me. But yeah, that's it. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Be good. I'm Jake Baldino. Pizza's on me.